Is San Antonio one of the cities in America that is going to have a housing shortage?
Let's try it.
Well, this is real talk. San Antonio.
Let's talk historical, right? San Antonio has always had a housing shortage, for the most part, because we are a military city, USA. We have a lot of industry. We have so many people moving here. I mean, we're a city that has just been experiencing growth
for what?
Forever.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I mean, we've always been in a shortage for the most part.
And the shortage being like a standard right now is 6 months, right? The term is 6 months.
Healthy market.
A healthy market. And we've never really hit 6 months, you
Ever.
know? Yeah, so to be able to that's never been the case. But right now, analysts are literally stating that here, we're still expected to have the longest term of shorting housing, you know, in the nation.
Yeah. Compared to Orlando and Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Those are the two other metropolitan areas that we are being compared with.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
That is wild. Those are huge metropolises.
Yeah, metropolis. Metrocities. I couldn't say that word for the life of me earlier. So, but and the reason why...
It's wild to me.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting is that, you know, this year, 2024, is going to be monumental, I feel, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of industries. Meaning that all these things that we're bringing to fruit, like that we're talking about, is going to have this really interesting effect on real estate for San Antonio.
Yeah, the snowball effect of so many things. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen all the reports of like Austin and San Antonio practically merging with all the growth that's going to happen over the next 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So that being the case, well, with any kind of growth also means we need more housing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on with us. We are just booming here.
Yeah, and that it kind of goes back into the idea of which we talked about, how the buying season, right? Because we're already in a shortage now, right? We went from a 3.9 to 3.18 months to a 4.3 months. Not a huge difference. But if we're already estimated to be a shortage, but rates are starting to like get into more reasonable.
More people are going to jump into the pool.
And then all these incentives going on.
And then that amount of inventory we have is going to start shrinking as people buy it off the shelves, right? So
what does that mean?
Man, that means more competition. It means our sellers are going to have more power. They're going to give less.
Yeah.
They're going to do less.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, like you remember during the pandemic, people were selling houses and buyers were paying a premium, and sometimes the houses were not even ready. They weren't move-in ready. They weren't cleaned, or, you know, they needed to be painted. They, you know, had bad floors and bad carpet or whatever, but people were buying them because there was such a shortage at the time. And so, you know, if we get back to that level of shortage and just need and greed and all that, I mean,
you see, and the thing, what people also don't understand though too is that, you know, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but there is a what is that, ebb and flow, or what is it? There's a terminology.
Ebb and flow.
Ebb and flow, exactly. That where the Federal Reserve, they're trying to have it to where there's a flow in regards to their rates, how it affects everything. They're not perfect. I know I don't got to get its argument, but the concept is to try to find a balance, right? Yeah. So if we get into that type of market, which hopefully we don't, right? But if we have a shortage, interest rates are getting better, and then we get to a point where there's scarcity in the market, where there's not a lot of like houses available, and everybody's starting to buy again,
or overpay again.
Yes, then
we're propping up the economy falsely.
What's likely to happen again is that the interest rates start to go up again because
the cost of money. That is the cost of money.
Yeah. And it affects everybody. It affects the inflation and everything like that. So it's really just to bring awareness to where we're at and where we could potentially be. And the idea that San Antonio is a wonderful, amazing place to actually invest in real estate. It is something that we can go off. And it's kind of interesting because we normally don't like are this heavy in our segments for real estate, like in our.
That's true.
But the reason why we're bringing it up so much more than ever is because this coming year is going to be a season that you guys want to completely take advantage of and make sure that you're in the market, like be in the market. Because if you're out of it,
we don't want you to miss out, man.
Yes.
Look, you guys. Here's the bottom line: we're in real estate because we care about people making their dreams come true, about the idea of home, right? And so it really affects us to our core that you guys actually make that happen for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on the sideline because of fear, because of not being prepared or not understanding or whatever, like, we want to guide you and bring you to that place where you can be living in your fullest dream.
Yeah.
And so, we're bringing up these things because it is that important to us, and because time is of the essence. Like, there is the time to strike. There's, when you make your eggs in the morning, you don't throw your eggs into a cold pan. Well, the pan is warm right now. You need to throw your eggs in because it's time to go. It's time to rock and roll. I mean, let's get on it. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can afford. We're not out here to put you in a place that's too expensive for you or something that's going to hurt you. Real estate is an investment that pays. It does not cost. Just like advertisement doesn't cost, it pays. It's the same thing with real estate in your personal life. It's going to pay you. It's going to bring you, security, wealth, stuff for your family later on in life. I mean, these are the things that matter. These should be core values.
I feel like you educated a lot of people on how to make an egg.
Don't throw in a cold pan.
pan.
Do you want to buy a house when there's plenty of options to see, or do you want to buy a house when there's so few options and you have to decide between, will I settle for this one or will I settle for that one? I feel like the answer is pretty obvious on that. We all want our choices, and we want to be able to find the one that checks every box that we have for our needs and our wants, and not have to settle, period, when it comes to housing. And
if you're already in the market and you're thinking about how does this affect me if I'm selling, just email us and we can give you like some details. Because when it comes to selling a house, it's a little different. It's based off a lot of other variables that we can totally break down for you. So if you're in that opposite area, let us know so we can kind of give you that guidance and get you fully prepared to make as much money as possible.
Absolutely.
Właśnie na skos,